Your business exists because you had the idea to start it. Everything begins in our minds. That's why your business results cannot outgrow your current level of thinking. Do you want to serve more clients, make more money, without working more or burning yourself out? Grow yourself first as a leader of your business, because that's who you are, a leader, even if you're the only person in your business right now. When you lead yourself first, the business results will always follow. My name is Maggie. I'm an international business and leadership coach, an expert in business mindset, strategy, and high performance. I created the Diamond Effect podcast to help you elevate your thinking, expand your perspective, and through it, grow your business without overwhelm. So let's get started. If you've been feeling like marketing is louder, clients are pickier, and everyone suddenly sounds the same online, you're not imagining it. AI is making it easier to create content, but harder to build trust. So in 2026, scaling won't be about doing more of the same. It will be about building a business that runs better and feels more human. Because there's two forces that are happening at once. There's automation through the help of AI that's rising, and so is the hunger of people for real human connection. So if you're at 5 figures or early 6 figures and you're scaling to multi-6 or 7 figures in 2026, this episode is for you. And what I'm going to talk about aren't just trendy tips. These are the real shifts that I'm seeing in consumer buyer behavior, content, what actually scales. I also took into considerations the predictions from the economists that specialize in small business, what's going to happen in the economy in 2026. Plus, of course, I looked at the buyer trends from reputable sources. So I will give you a quick backstory before we dive into the 7 predictions that I have for you today. Now, when I was doing my executive MBA, we had one of the projects to look at publicly traded companies and how they were doing, what was our prediction for their future, in how the company would grow, whether they would stay relevant or not. And one of those projects that I did was on Pinterest. And you might think Pinterest is a social media company, but Pinterest is also a tech company that is publicly traded in the US. So it discloses its financial information, certain parts of its strategy, and so on. And what I realized is that Pinterest is really good at predicting consumer buyer behavior because there's, from their users, people who go and research and search for stuff, they have truly, the audience of Pinterest is really ready to buy buyers. Those are people who already have an idea for certain things. They're looking for inspirations. They're ready to take action. So they have very valuable data from the users of their platform. So every year, at the end of the year, they release their predictions for 2026. And I always like to look at them. And even though sometimes they feel like just consumer shallow predictions, I actually came to appreciate them because every year I look at the predictions and I look at how year goes. And they're very often right. They can predict pretty well the consumer behavior. So all those things, my own experience, me looking at the market and working with my clients, listening to some reputable sources, economist sources, and people who know the market, and some Pinterest prediction, I compiled for you today 7 predictions that I think will matter in 2026 that will help you scale your business if that's what you're planning for the new year. Prediction number 1. In 2026, your personality as the business owner, the CEO will be the differentiator. And even if you're scaling and you're thinking of building a brand, you still need your personal brand will still be a bigger driver, let's say, of audience and trust building and so on than a brand. And that comes from the fact that with a lot of AI generated content and online scams and so on, people are mistrustful of non-human or faceless images or faceless content. So you do need, as a CEO, still represent your brand. And it doesn't mean that you have to become somebody you're not, that there's this trend that you have to fall into and be one way, even if it is against your values or against of who you are. But you can't be generic anymore, right? Your business cannot show as generic. And the easiest way to showcase the difference is by using your personal brand, because you are unique. The way you serve your clients, the way you think about your customers, the way you think about the business, you as the human and the leader are unique. Your story is unique. Nobody can copy it and be like you. Now, if you're extroverted and if you're a person who likes bold and flashy and big, definitely 2026 is your year. There is a lot of trends out there that will showcase just being bold and flashy, right? But if you're more introverted like myself, that doesn't mean you have to go bold and flashy route. The goal isn't to perform or be somebody else. It's just to be distinct, different, right? So your job is to really get clear on what do you value? What do you believe? What do you love about what you do? What makes you different? Drive that into your brand and into the company and how you serve your clients and their experience, but then also showcase it in your way and showcase it in your way, in your personal branding, whether it's through calm confidence, elegance, depth, precision, maybe simplicity, warmth, whatever it is for you. It will make you distinct. It will make you memorable. And with that, your business, your brand will be memorable, especially for new clients or for new people who learn about you, but yet you haven't gained their loyalty yet. And that's already happening. What I've noticed in my business over the last 3 months, when I really show up as myself, whether it's an in-person event, a workshop that I run, guest speaking event, and of course with my clients, people who resonate with me, but especially on those events where people don't know me, people who resonate with me, they will come up to me and say, hey, I really relate to what you're saying. I want to talk to you more. The right people will connect with you. So one action or one challenge that I have for you to reflect on is pick 3 words that describe how you want to be experienced, right? And you can align those words with your values, but it could be bold, it could be direct, it could be warm or elegant, right? Sometimes a great exercise is to look at your testimonials from your best clients and see if those words are already there. Or you can ask your best clients if they could describe you with 3 words, what would that be? I actually did that exercise with my clients, I believe last year, and it was a great eye-opening things where there were some things that I already knew, but there were some things that I wasn't consciously aware my clients experience me a certain way, and I wasn't necessarily showing that off in my marketing. But when my clients mentioned certain things which were important to them, and I didn't think they were, that also helped me with how I market myself. And once you have those three words, then you can think about how would I want to show this, right? So whether I'm an introverted or extroverted or something in between in my personal brand, how can I showcase those words, those values? Whatever you, don't be generic. Prediction number 2 is that customer loyalty is your growth strategy, right? So looking at lifetime value of your customer and maximizing this will beat constantly chasing the new client. And I'm not saying don't generate new leads, don't look for new clients. This is always required for growth. But it's so much harder to scale when you're very transactional or the clients don't stay for whatever reason and you're constantly looking to build trust with new people rather than also utilizing the love that your current clients have and their trust and just serving them in more expanded ways so then they stay with you longer and spend more money, right, with your brand. It's always easier to keep great clients longer and serve them deeper than just finding new ones, because those clients you already know. You have an opportunity to get to deeper into their challenges and see how else you can help them. And because they already know you, like, and trust you, it's so much easier for them to spend money with you. And another thing, what is happening is that buyers want fewer decisions and more trust-based relationships, because every time our customer needs to go out there to the market and do the research on whatever services they need and people who can provide them, it takes time and energy. So if they already know, like you, and trust you, and you can serve them, not only it's easier for them to say yes, but also you're saving them a lot of time and energy from making new decisions and trying to build new relationships, or even you're lowering the risk of them investing in something that doesn't work for them just because they didn't do the research or they didn't got to know the new service provider. So, for example, how you can extend your lifetime customer value, you could create maintenance memberships. So if you're into health, wellness, and beauty, how instead of one-off appointments, you can create some signature membership subscription, or create certain bundles that add on transformation sessions, or maybe priority bookings with you, or certain product perks for those clients who want to go deeper in that relationship, stay with you longer, who are really loyal. That gives you more predictable revenue. And of course, you make it easy for the clients. You give them some special perks. They feel like they belong to a inner circle community. They feel like they're treated special. It will be easier for them to say continually yes to you and stay with your services. If you're maybe in some home services, let's say you're a professional organizer, maybe after an initial organizer project, if the client, you could see that they could benefit from a monthly or quarterly maintenance package, or maybe it's just a seasonal swap of clothes or maintenance or a package of helping them decorate the house for different occasions. Be creative. For your clients the best. You will know what will benefit them the most, what they're looking for, what help. And if you don't know that, this is definitely a hint to have those conversations with those clients, to ask them. They'll appreciate that you're interested in their lives, interested in helping them, and you care about them beyond that one transactions that they bought from you. Because sustainable scaling isn't just about keep adding new clients and always hustling to get leads and more clients. It's about understanding your customer journey with you, with understanding what else your clients want and need, and how can you help them with that, and therefore how can you increase the lifetime value of the right clients, not everybody, right? So the question you want to ask yourself for this prediction is, what is the next problem that my best clients will have after I solve the first one? So if I cut their hair or create a whole transformation with their hair because I'm a hairstylist, what is the next thing that they will need, right? Or if I'm a therapist and I go through the standard 10 sessions that are required for me to help them with the problem that they come with me, what is the next thing that I can help them with? Prediction number 3 goes into online marketing and content. So all of us, all businesses out there should have online presence on at least one content type platform, right? So whether it's social media, whether it's YouTube or podcast, video is really the way where you can showcase your brand, showcase your personality, your personal brand, and if you have a team, your team and humans behind the brand. And short form video is still the most popular one with all types of consumers and people, right? People are busy. Not everybody has always access or ability to spend 2 hours to listen to the content. And it's definitely content that also long form content requires more time from you, more effort, and also resources. So it's a win-win in a sense where people like short form. It will still dominate in 2026 and it's easier for you to produce and be consistent with. But what you can think about is making series, mini series. So if you were talking about a topic or you're creating your point of view on something that matters to your ideal client or something that is in your industry and you have a distinct point of view on that and distinct way of maybe serving your clients, doing a mini short form series will give you depth and win trust while still being relatively low lift and easy to do. Because short video is how people discover you. That's very often how they meet you, especially online, how they can get to know you. And if they watch the short videos, then many platforms will feed the following content, the content that's part of the series to them, whether they follow you or not, right? That happens on TikTok, but that also happens on Instagram. Serialized content also gets that repeated engagement because people are curious, okay, what's next? I want to learn more. So especially if you keep videos with a strong hook and a strong ending, inviting them to continue the journey with you, they will watch you, and that gives you touch points with them on a regular basis. And what serialized content allows you to do is, of course, give depth. And when you show depth, when you show how uniquely you solve your client problems, how uniquely you understand them, that makes them think, okay, this person is for me. That's my person. So here is my challenge for you for 2026. If you're not doing it, the short form content and videos, that is the year to start. And if you are, but you haven't done much series or at all, this is a challenge for you to start. This is where you can show your personality, but also show depth where your authority gets built in your clients' minds. Prediction number 4 is personal touch. And that's something I talked about during this week's Maggie's Moment on Monday, so you can check out that quick video from there. But it really can become your competitive advantage, especially if you strategically put those personal touches across the entire customer journey. So not just for your paying clients, but how can you add that for people who are just discovering you? They might be checking you out and thinking about working with you. People are becoming immune to bots. There's a lot of bots, AI assistants, helping business owners reach out to people, send messages, whether it's through prospecting, cold reach out, whether it's in customer support. Lately, you can't even talk to a human if you need help. You have to go through some AI and a bunch of questions. So in 2026, that human personal touch will feel premium again, and that creates loyalty, because that creates deeper and faster connection. And in service business, really, people don't just buy the service, they do want an experience. And the more of that you can create, the more you will stand out from others. And when you think about your customer journey, you can start that experience before a client actually pays you. And I've been seeing that firsthand with my own events. I'm running my complimentary Design Your Success 2026 strategic planning events. And I've already run 2. I'm about to run another one in January, last one for the year. And I'm really excited to see how people enjoy those events, even though they're 2-day, 3-hour events. Yes, they're complimentary, but still people who attend have to carve out 6 hours in a week to attend them. And because I've curated them to be the experience, so not only the participants of that event are coming out with a clear plan for 2026 that's very actionable, very simple for them to do. It's not just high-level strategy that they don't understand, but they come out of it with some insights from other fellow business owners, with some of my coaching, some new ideas. They get super clear and excited about their business. I can see how that event alone positions me so differently and uniquely from my competition. I had participants tell me that they couldn't believe this event was complimentary. There are people who were asking me, even like just trying to attend the event and just knowing from the agenda, they were like, oh, I don't see the price. Where do I pay for this? But after they attended, they were blown away by the quality, the value that they got, and then the experience that they got while participating in the event. And that was all intentional. I want my participants, my clients who are non-paid clients, but clients to come and give me their valuable attention, carve time out of their schedule to spend that time with me. I wanted them to feel, what would it be like if they were coached by me? What would be their experience to now dive deeper and really focus on execution of those plans and focus on creating faster and easier results? So how you can apply the personal touch points on your customer journey? First, you want to break your customer journey into certain milestones, right? Or certain points. So when they first discover you, then how you nurture them, then when you start having a conversation and sales conversation, then when you onboard them, and then how you deliver service and retention referral. And you want to think about and get creative. How can I make it special? Whether it's through handwritten thank you cards after certain events or after they give you business, right? Or welcome cards for new clients. or some celebration cards after a milestone. And I'm talking about the cards and handwritten things because that's definitely something that's coming back. Handwritten letters. It's definitely a trend for 2026. So if you are a person that likes to do that or appreciates that, figure out a way how you can bring that, because that's a low cost personal touch, but it's very valuable. And then important operational note on those touch points so it doesn't become a chaos. Once you figure out what kind of touch points you want to introduce, you want to systemize them, right? You want to create a process out of it. And whether you delegate it to your team member or you do that, you want to make it a system so that it doesn't become a chaos or it's not random, right? Prediction number 5. As AI expands and grows, and yes, it can be scary. And at the same time, as a small business, there is benefits to adopting it and really thinking how it can help you run your business and streamline things in your business so that you have time and you have mental capacity to focus on human connection and the personal touch. And in 2026, AI will become an operational leverage, operational advantage. So if you haven't used it yet, 2026 has to be a year. But if you've been using it and you've been using it maybe in your marketing and sales and you haven't liked because it made you or your brand sound robotic, think about how you can use it in streamlining certain processes. Maybe drafts standard operating procedures or proposals or follow-ups, or if you're keeping a track of your leads and client summaries and so on, right? Or keeping notes from the meetings, things that are time-consuming but can be easily done by AI and don't need that uniqueness and originality, or just automation would be a great solution, right? For whatever you're doing, that's when you want to use it. Let AI run your back office sort of thing, or most of it, right? So then you can focus on that human connection, human touch with your interactions with the clients, so with your front office. And last prediction number 6. Somehow I thought I was 7. I think when I was planning this episode and thinking about it, I had 7, but then I amalgamated 2 of them. So there we go. We have 6 predictions. This one is about community and strategic partnerships. They will become your most reliable pipeline. So building a warm ecosystem will be, of course, you will get much higher conversion rates than cold outreach, especially for service business, especially when you're a local service business. So leaning into local, being in community, being part of the community, building not only awareness, but strategic partnerships with your fellow business owners will help you tremendously scale in 2026. And then you can amplify that or add some cold outreach or paid advertising to that. Okay, just to make sure that you scale as much as possible. So for example, when I work with my clients, I teach them the strategic partnership process and building and how to build those connections and so on. But for now, what I want you to think about is identify 10 to 15 partners, strategic partners that can help you with referrals and activate that relationship, build that relationship, even if it's once a month, right? You can build 12 strong relationships within a year, and that will be your backbone of scaling and growing your clientele. And then you want to have a nurturing system that when those people come and they already trust you because they're in your through strategic partnerships, but even again, cold outreach people, when you have a way to nurture them consistently with value, whether it's through newsletter and social media, and that's why I talk about content, your conversion rate will be as high as possible, will be optimized, and you will scale without hassle and very sustainably long term. So I hope this episode will make you think about your 2026 goals and the plans to achieve them. And if anything struck a chord, or if you had a big aha moment, or you have a follow-up questions, just connect with me. The best way to find me is through my website, stairwaytoleadership.com. Have a fantastic New Year. Happy holidays. And talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you for listening today. If this podcast resonated with you, please come back. Also, you can leave a review on whatever platform you're listening. And if you have a suggestion, question, or a topic you would like me to talk about, let's get in touch via email. Email me at Maggie@stairwaytoleadership.com. See you in the next episode.